Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. And in today's we're going to be doing another throwback review for this week of the Year of the Dead throwback reviews for The Walking Dead. This is my throwback review for The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 8, titled Made to Suffer. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today, this one's going to be doing a review for today, and then today's we're going to be doing our weekly usual throwback review for this week's Year of the Dead throwback review. This one is my throwback review for The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 8, titled Made to Suffer. So, this week we are doing our throwback review for what I would say is one of the most, divided, opinionated episodes of The Walking Dead. This is an episode that I feel like a lot of people either love or a lot of people hate. I usually see a good mix of of both of them, really. Now, obviously, this title from this episode is actually based off of this volume right here from The Walking Dead comics, which is called Made to Suffer. And unlike the comics, obviously this was the end of the Governor storyline. This was basically our Too Far Gone of comics, which they titled Made to Suffer. And in the television show, I would say this episode takes place around the time of Volume 5, when you kind of get our first initiation with the Governor and the rest of our characters. But just kind of a fun fact is that, Made to Suffer, I would say, is our first initiation of Rick and the group against Woodbury in the show, and it's our final battle with them in the comics, which they also called Made to Suffer. So kind of cool how they did that. Kind of probably a way to throw people off and stuff. But anyway, I really enjoy this episode. I think it's a very good episode. Now, I will say I do have a few things I don't like. There are a few minor problems, but for the most part, I don't really understand the hate for this episode. I mean, like I said, there's one or two things, I could bring up that maybe could have been fixed, but I do think it is a pretty overhated episode, especially after going over it again. Yeah, I think people hate on this one a little too much. So, we get introduced at the beginning of this episode to Tyrese, Sasha, and the rest of our kind of crew, who, of course, find the prison, and, obviously you've got Alan's wife, Donna, who's bit, but they go in there anyway, and, they're kind of making their way through the tombs, and, well, while Rick and the rest of them are out there, Carl actually rescues them, which I thought was really, really cool. And, brings them back to the cell, brings them back to, C block and stuff. But they don't, Carl doesn't let them come in, right? And Sasha kind of gets pissed off. She's like, hey, open this door. Open it now, Freaking Sasha, man. She's so weird. But anyway, she's pissed off because they won't let them in. And I'm on Team Carl, You just save these people, sure, but you can't immediately, trust them. You can't immediately just guarantee they're not going to hurt you. I mean, for God's sakes, Alan literally has already suggested to just take everybody out and take the prison for themselves. So, Alan's a, slime ball anyway, but whatever, You can't really trust every person in the apocalypse. You gotta be careful. And you gotta wait for Rick to come back and, make the final call. And I agree with Carl on that. So, yeah. Makes a lot of sense why he locked the doors. Makes a lot of sense why, he kind of did that. And I think Herschel knows that Tyrese and them are not bad people, but I think he wants to be sure as well, too. Herschel's a very good judge of character, but even he's kind of like, you know what, let's sit on this, for a little bit. So that's exactly what they do. And, now, meanwhile, at Woodbury, you've got Glenn and Maggie that have now been forced to give up where the prison is exactly. And you've got Rick and the rest of our characters that move in, right? Now, this was crazy because you've got the governor that ends up, kind of deciding we're going to take Glenn and Maggie to the pits. So you've got Merle and them that are kind of, getting them prepared to do that. They put, bags over their heads and stuff like that. Maggie tells Glenn that she loves him. And of course, as soon as they're ready to take them away, Rick and the rest come in and take Glenn and Maggie and get the frig out of there. So this is when the shootout starts. Obviously, they kind of go into this bar or whatever inside of Woodbury, and they kind of regroup there. And Glenn says Rick, I'm sorry, we told them where the prison was. We couldn't hold out. And Rick says, you don't have to apologize. So on and so forth. And he finds out from Glenn that Merle is one of the governor's guys, and Daryl freaks right out, and Rick's like, dude, I get that's your brother, I get that Merle's here, but, if this governor catches up to us, I'm gonna need you here, And Daryl agrees, he's with Rick, no matter what, that's what he's gonna do, and, It's crazy, man. It's really, really a messy situation because that's Daryl's family, you know. But he just, it's hard for him, right? It's hard for him to, to kind of do something like that and just to kind of like fire at these men where he knows that his brother is in that group. So, understandable, of course. Now, Michonne kind of breaks off from the group to get her own revenge, and she goes after the governor, where she ends up finding Penny, who has been locked up and she's zombified, she's dead, but the governor begs Michonne not to kill her. And this was, I mean, this was one hell of a sequence because Michonne wants to hurt the governor, right? She wants to hurt him after what he did to her, sending Merle after her and all this kind of stuff. And she kills his, what he believes to still be his daughter, even though it's zombified. And then the governor loses it, starts attacking Michonne. They fight through the room, and you get the fish tanks that kind of are thrown, and walker heads everywhere, glass everywhere. They're fighting back and forth. He's like hitting Michonne's head against the wall a few times. It's, I mean, one hell of a fight scene. Honestly, I really enjoyed the fight because it was even too, Governor got a good few hits in. Michonne did as well. But ultimately, I mean, Michonne's a badass. Obviously, we knew this was going to happen. She ends up putting the glass into his eye and takes out the governor's right eye, which is really crazy. I did not expect to see, when I first watched it, that is, I did not expect to see her do that, but yeah, she did it, and holy crap, she got revenge, I would say. And just when she was about to finish him off, Andrea steps in, stupid Andrea, and points the gun towards her. And she kind of starts to realize that the governor has lost his mind, But my God, man, absolutely insane. So, meanwhile, you've got that. You've got the shootout that's going on in Woodbury. You've got the battle that's going on in the street. And this is my one flaw because I really didn't like this scene. How you've got, because I like it, right? Because you got Shane that Rick sees in the crowd, which that part I like. I like when we see Shane kind of focusing on how Rick is not doing so well. But this guy who they make it look like Shane, but it's actually a Woodbury soldier. He shoots Oscar, and he's like shot, and then he dies, and then that's just it. Like, I don't know, guys. I felt like Oscar had a lot more to offer than that, to be honest. Oscar just died like he was nothing, to be honest. It was really dark. You couldn't really see what was going on. I just feel like it was a very poor death for a character that had so much potential, right? Because this is a guy that, shot Andrew and then flipped the gun around and gave it to Rick. Like, this guy was really cool. And for him just to die, just get shot, Maggie just puts him down just like that, quick, moves on. I don't know, man. I get it's battle, it's war, and you gotta keep moving, but that death was really, really anticlimactic for a character that I thought was going to stick around way longer, And I genuinely liked the actor, I genuinely liked the character, and they killed him like he was nothing, I don't know. And I know a lot of people say, well, we have Tyrese. Well, guys, I hate to break it to you, but Tyrese in the show sucked. So, yeah, there is that. Compared to the comics, yeah, he absolutely did. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like Oscar had a lot more to offer, and I feel like his death it's the one thing from the episode I can say I wasn't a big fan of. And, well, then the governor finds out that, well, he was attacked, but obviously Merle lied to him, said that he killed Michonne, so then he, of course, captures Merle. He obviously is really pissed at Merle after that. And he rounds everybody up in the street at the arena. And he makes a big speech, And he says, here are two terrorists. One is one of our own. And the other one is his brother, Daryl. And one hell of a cliffhanger to end an episode off on, man. I mean, one hell of a cliffhanger. And I love it, too, because he looks at Merle. He's like, you wanted your brother. Now you got him, right? So that was awesome. Absolutely love that. So this episode, I'm going to give it a 9. I liked it a lot. Very underrated episode. I think there are minor flaws, more so I would say with the Oscar death. But aside from that, this was such a good episode. This was such a good mid-season finale and battle-type episode. Really warlike, really action-oriented, and it was really, really good. So, anyway, if you're new to the channel, make sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos or throwback reviews of The Walking Dead. Make sure also to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos of The Walking Dead. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
I've heard stories. Walkers that can climb walls and open doors. I was never sure if they were just stories.